All right, so I have 10 o'clock, so let's get started. Welcome to Email Marketing Trends. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll share the top trends in email marketing for 2022. My name is Dixie, my co-host is Katrine, and we're from Easy Marketing. This is part one of our email marketing series. In each of these sessions, we'll be taking a deep dive into specific topics in email marketing, so we invite you back. Each is self-contained, so you can participate in them individually or as a series. Katrine?
Yeah, and Easy Marketing, we've been around since 2001, so it's actually on our 21st year. We create and maintain websites for our clients. We create logos. We work a lot with social media marketing, where we kind of take care and take over your social media marketing. And then, of course, we do printed materials. And the hub in all what we do is constant contacts, email marketing.
Thank you. As we look at trends for 2022, it's helpful to look at some of the data that's driving them. Salesforce does independent research tracking marketing trends and found that 76% of customers expect consistent interactions. So not surprisingly, 3/4 of marketers have embraced email marketing as a key digital marketing channel. So despite the rise in social media and video and digital ads, email marketing continues to dominate the marketing space as a proven and cost-effective way to provide the direct and consistent interaction that customers demand. The same research shows that 78% of customer engagement is data-driven. Several of the trends that we're looking at today are focused on a personalized experience. And obviously, the marriage of marketing and commerce technology makes it easier, cheaper, quicker, and more effective to create personalized experiences with email marketing. So let's look at those trends. The first trend you really want to consider for your email marketing campaigns this year is sending highly targeted emails using click segmentation. Sending targeted emails simply means that you're sending relevant, timely information to the right people. Every person on your email distribution list is unique. They have different interests, different needs, or perhaps are in different stages of the buying process. Not every marketing message is relevant to every one of your subscribers. Research shows that 52% of customers are likely to switch brands if your communications aren't relevant to their needs and interests. In other words, this one-size-fits-all marketing approach for email marketing can drive away half your audience. The good news is when you do send relevant information, that audience is more likely to be engaged and to take action. So in order to send these targeted emails, you need to group or segment like contacts together. How you group them may depend on their demographics, their location, or behaviors, such as their purchase history or clicks. So let's take a look at a couple examples of email list segmentation. If you're in a B2B industry, you might segment your list based on current customers versus prospects because they need and want and expect different information. I would definitely segment the different types of goods and services that you offer. So if you're in HR, the people interested in your recruiting services are not necessarily the same as those interested in payroll processing. So you want two different segments so you can reach those two different audiences with different information. Nonprofits are another group that can benefit from segmentation. The information that you send to donors is not necessarily relevant to your volunteers or the people that you serve, or at the very least, the call to action is going to be very different. One of the best ways to target all these different groups with email marketing is using what we call click segmentation, a trend that Katrine is excited to show you.
Yes, so in this example, we are looking at a sporting goods store, and they have their regular email, and they're about to announce their clearance sale. And in this example, we're looking at the people that are one back or a little bit too quick. Yes. there are interested in running, and then we have the ones that are general interested in sports or in baseball. And if we look at the statistics that are out there, we look at the next slide. If you look to the left, you can see that the opening rate for, if they know you're sending out general information, it's less than half of if you send out to the segment of your clients or customers that are interested in a specific area. So both the opening rate is going to be bigger, and then the click-through rate where they actually take action in the email. So here is an example of we really would like to send out two different emails, one that goes to runners and one that goes to baseball people. And how do we really do this? We would actually send out one email to start with, looking for it to come, where we give good information, in this case about local events and clubs. And you can see if we say you are a runner, they can click on runners and they can learn all about your local areas, running clubs and trails and so on. And if they are baseball fans, the same thing, where are the best diamonds to go to, where are the clubs for kids, so on. So by sending this email and by clicking on one of those, we are going to be able to capture who is what is interested in what. So we actually start with a regular email, do a click, and then what is done within Constant Contact is, next click, we are setting up a link that is doing all of this for you. And if you go to the next one, we can tell you that today we are just doing an overview over the trends in 2021 here. But if you join us next time on May 4th, we're going to look at specifically how can you segment your clients or your members into lists depending on their interest very, very easily. So we're going to go over that in detail.
Thank you, Katrine. So the next trend for 2022 is also geared toward personalization, and it's called dynamic content. So I'm sure some of you are probably sitting there thinking, well, this personalization sounds great, but I do not have time to create multiple emails for different groups of people. So the good news is there's an easy time-saving way to do this as well, and it's called dynamic content. This allows you to personalize the content in your email or newsletter for each audience. So you only have to create one newsletter or one email, and depending on who's opening it, they're going to get personalized content to them. So Katrine has another great example for us.
Yes. So we're going back looking at the emails we just did for the sporting goods store. So when someone that is interested in running open the email, this is what they're going to see. And the next slide, you're going to see what the baseball people of interest are going to see. But when you create the email, next slide, you're going to see we actually stack them on top of each other. And next slide. No, it actually doesn't coming up, but we're going to show you on May 18 exactly how you can do this. You can have 2 or 3 or 4 different specials depending on how you segmented your list. So I hope you join us on 18th when we look at that.
Absolutely. So our next trend uses technology to make email marketing faster, easier, and more effective, and that is automation. So automation is now the gold standard of email marketing, saving you time and effort and reaching customers at the optimal time for engagement. Conversion rates are as high as 50% with automation. Subscribers who get such as a simple welcome email show a third more long-term engagements. And automation is also a great way to nurture new contacts and leads, leading to 47% larger purchases. So if automation is not already part of your email strategy, it should be something to consider this year as a trend. You set it up once, and the emails are automatically sent to a select audience at data or intervals that you've chosen, or in response to actions like joining your newsletter list or making a purchase. You can automate emails to customers on, let's say, their birthday or anniversary, or even a series of emails. So let's look at an example. After you make a sale, it can be beneficial to provide a series of helpful information. This is known as an onboarding series. So let's say someone makes a purchase with you, congratulations. You want to send them an email right away, hours or later, one day later, thanking them for their purchase and providing some essential getting started information. Then for your second email, you can include more educational information to help them be successful with your products or services. So think of like tips on how to use it. Then the third email in this series is where you can ask for feedback, for referrals, and for reviews. After a purchase or interaction is a great time to ask for feedback. And by providing that helpful information first, it's a great way to ensure that they are seeing success before you ask them for a review or referral. And obviously, it would be difficult to remember to send out these emails every single time someone makes a purchase. But if you have your automated email set up, this will happen in a series every time that you get a purchase.
Yeah, and if you're the clothing store or the sporting store, for example, you sell a good pair of running shoes. You have the first one talking about how to take care of them. The second one might come a week after, talking about local trails. And the last one is to give you a review. And again, just like Dixie said, you just need to set it up once. And only depending on when someone makes a purchase, you click once and that is going to start rolling automatically. But
Yes.
we're going to look at all those details on June 1st.
Yeah,
So we're
it's
going to
more
take
than we have
20
time
minutes.
for in our 20 minutes.
Yeah,
But definitely, if you're into saving time with automation, save the date for that. All of these webinars are free, so you can bring the whole team. And last, if technology is maybe not your friend, there is a trend that's for you based on what you say rather than how you deliver it, and that's value-based content. So to get great results from your email marketing, you really have to think about the value of the content in your emails. People do not like to be sold every time. If every email you're sending out is buy now, there's more, here's a deal, that gets a little fatiguing. So let's look at a few stats. Gaining a new customer is 5 to 25 times more expensive than just retaining your existing ones. Nearly half of buyers are going to review 3 to 5 pieces of content before ever contacting sales. And 84% of customers are more likely to take action based on a personal recommendation from a family member or friend. Plus, when people are referred by a friend, they're 4 more times likely to make a purchase. So the more helpful your content is to your existing customers, the more likely they are to do business with you again and even to share with their friends. Mm. The real value of your email content is that it gives your audience the opportunity to get to know and like and trust you over time. And people do business with people that they like and know and trust. In addition to being relevant and speaking to their interests, it needs to enable them to overcome a challenge or learn something maybe they didn't already know. So when you're thinking about value content, think about your audience's struggles and the benefits from your products or services. We like to think about a problem that our audience has and the steps that they'll need in order to solve that problem. So things like frequently asked questions, blogs, and Ask the Expert column, and especially how-to videos are all great examples of value-based content. This webinar, we hope that you find, is valuable content. And even content that you curate and share from other sources, such as infographics or industry news, are all great ways to position yourself as a trusted thought leader.
yeah. And if you join us on June 15, we are going to look at that in detail and we're going to go over all kind of industries And if you let us know beforehand what industry you're in, we will give you examples that you kind of maybe don't think about that could be valuable for others.
Yes, and in each of those, we're going to take a much deeper dive into each of these trends and show you the how to do them. And with that, we're going to welcome your questions about any of the trends we've covered today: click segmentation, dynamic content, automation, or value-based content. So feel free to type your questions right there in the box. And then Katrine, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah, and if even if you after you have joined us for the deep dive, or you don't feel you don't have time to even try to figure out the segmentation or dynamic content, let us know. That's what we do for a living here. We love to go in and help company set up and get you on the right track, and then send you on your way with a much better and more effective marketing plan.
All right.
I do not see any questions today.
I think that we
So,
have a very savvy audience.
yeah.
Well, if you are DIYing your email marketing, or perhaps if you're not happy with your provider, we highly recommend Constant Contact to all of our small business and nonprofit clients. And we'd be happy to set you up with a free trial. Not only are they a premium email marketing provider, but they also do social media, videos, Google My Business, and even web pages and landing pages.
So we actually have a question here. We
Yep.
have Carrie Weaver, and she at a public library, and she's asking. They have two lists: they're segmented by adults and by children. But I think there are much more. I think I'm following your emails, and you are doing fantastic when it comes to your layout, Carrie, because you've been joining us before. I think it's you. But I think that if you have a brainstorming session at your library, I bet you have some children's hours that where children come in and do different things, and you might want to divide those into other things, and you might have other groups. So I think there are more things that you can do if you feel that you have that need.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the demographics that you've started with, adults versus children, is definitely a great way to get started. As Katrine mentioned, if you have any events, when people come to those events, you can get them to join their list. And that way, when you have future special events, whether they be for adults or children, perhaps you have an author series come in, then you're going to want to send to that specific list of people that you know are interested in events. And also, I imagine you have a ton of data about what types of materials people are checking out. So if you can look through your database, maybe you make a list of people who are really interested in sci-fi, or maybe there's a list of people who are really interested in romance novels. So when you get the latest Bridgerton book available at your library for checkout, you send the email just to those people who already have a demonstrated interest in that.
Yeah. And as a public library, very often you have friends of the library or some kind of fundraisers, and far from everyone is interested in attending those events or give a dime to anything. But the ones that are interested, that are coming, that are donors, those might be the people you get even more engaged.
Absolutely. And there might be people that are not necessarily patrons of the library, but they're influential in your community that you might want to include on your list as well. So, mayors, townspeople, any of those sorts of folks, I would make a great targeted list when you're having special events, fundraising campaigns, anything like that. Great question.
Yeah, and she's actually saying they are thinking about introducing a new newsletter. And if you come in and we look at the dynamic content, this is going to make things even easier, because you might be able to do one long email, but you will pull in things. If they are adults, you will have more of the adults information in there, or children's, or depending of the other interests and segments you have. And you just create one email, but it only shows up if that person is segmented in the Rappi segment. But we will look at that. Was it the beginning of June, I think? Yeah.
Yep, coming up soon. Great question. All right. Well, if you need any help with your email marketing or perhaps just a quick consultation to point you in the right direction, here's our contact information. We're only a call away. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're here, you've been entered to win a free consultation for your business. So check your email later today to see if your name was drawn. There'll also be registration links for those future deep dive sessions where we'll go into more detail and show you the how-to of all the different trends we've covered today. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you back in 2 weeks.
I know.